I'm not super into it. This is either the point where I'm going to completely change my mind and fall in love with the book. This is a reading vlog. It's my first one, and I need to make it quality. I didn't actually tell you what the book is about. So, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Faeries by Heather Fawcett, Barnes & Noble, exclusive edition. I didn't ever actually tell you what it's about, which is kind of an important part of the reading vlog. So, a curmudgeonly professor journeys to a small town in the far north to study fairy folklore and discovers dark fae magic, friendship, and love in the start of a heartwarming and enchanting new fantasy series. Cambridge Professor Emily Wilde is good at many things. She is the foremost expert on fairies. She is a genius scholar and a meticulous researcher who is writing the world's first encyclopedia of fairy lore. But Emily Wilde is not good at people. I feel that personally. She could never make small talk at a party, or even get invited to one, and she prefers the company of her books, her dog Shadow, and the fair folk to other people. So when she arrives in the hardscrabble village of Hraffsvik, Emily has no intention of befriending the gruff townsfolk, nor does she care to spend time with another new arrival, her dashing and insufferably handsome academic rival, Wendell Bambleby, who manages to charm the townsfolk, muddle Emily's research, and utterly confound and frustrate her. But as Emily gets closer and closer to uncovering the secrets of the Hidden Ones, the most elusive of all fairies, lurking in the shadowy forest outside of town, she also finds herself on the trail of another mystery. Who is Wendell Bambleby, and what does he really want? To find the answer, she'll have to unlock the greatest mystery of all, her own heart. I have to say, the last sentence did come off a bit cheesy, but as a professionally cheesy person, I do appreciate it. And I do know that this is a series. I almost accidentally bought book 3. Whew, so glad I didn't do that again. I've done that more times than I can count. And really, it makes the book even more mysterious because I'm like, who are these people? I don't know their names. I don't know their backstories, and everyone else is like fully caught up, and I'm just up there somewhere. And also, what's with the name Hraffsvik? I'm just saying, if you want readers to be able to relate to your world, you can maybe do without some of the Middle English Russian dialect. No offense to the Russian viewers. Or the Middle English viewers, if you're like Doctor Who and you're time traveling, I don't know. But the Guardians seem to love it. A thoroughly charming academic fairy tale, complete with footnotes and a low-key, grumpy romance. Again, when a professional journalistic organization says grumpy romance, I just get the ick. I do. I can't help it. It's who I am. I get the ick so easily, and the ick can't be gotten rid of, okay? You can't dust it out or vacuum it up. The ick is there to stay, unfortunately. This is either the point where I'm going to completely change my mind and fall in love with the book, or I am going to just dislike it more and more, and I'm just going to start losing brain cells, and they're going to start, dividing and then exploding, and I'm going to have a mental breakdown. So, anywho. Right. So, here's the deal. I am about 32 pages in now with Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Faeries, and I have to say, I'm not super into it. I don't, it's just really hard for me to get into light fantasy. I don't know why. Sometimes the really descriptive, grounded language is good, but for me, I like to have a lot of room for imagination with the prose style and writing, and I don't know, man. Sometimes when it's just like endless descriptions of like a table or a tree, I'm just like, when's it gonna be over? But I'm gonna keep on trucking, and so far, I really like the dog. At least I hope it's a dog. I was a little tired when I read it last night, but I'm 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 enjoying it. I am enjoying it. I don't hate it, just to be clear. I don't hate it. I'm just not like in love with it yet. I just haven't really hit that moment yet. Oh, and also, by the way, how annoying is this? This is a sticker that I got when I got it at Barnes and Noble, and it doesn't come off. How cruel of you to not have your stickers come off. This is very unfair to me and my community. I feel personally victimized by this, that I can't get rid of this. Also, for all the book folks out there, while I have you here as my hostages, if you ever have a sticker on a book that you need to get rid of and you can't figure out how, what you do is you take some tweezers. What you want is something like flat and sharp, much like a pair of tweezers. And you just slide it under there. And the thing is, most of them are not stuck on all the way. It's at the edges, okay? Like the middle part is not stucky on there. So you just sort of slide up, and in my experience, once you pry at the edges, the rest comes off pretty easily. So, insider hack. Tweezers. Okay. Back to this. So, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Faeries. So far, I would give it about 2 stars, but that is obviously going to change as I keep reading. I still have this much left to go. So, hopefully, I learned some more about fairies. I was hoping for something sort of like The Story Collector by Evie Woods, but I feel like this is more like cozy countryside academia. Does that make sense? We'll see. We'll see if I hate this. It's a very popular book talk book. So hopefully I won't be having the, literary fairy community running after me with pitchforks. We shall see tomorrow. I'm back. Okay. Oh, I just came back from the gym. However, I am dedicated. So here we are. It is about 6:30. It's Sunday currently, and I'm about 130 pages through Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Faeries, and I have to say, I'm kind of bored. I'm so sorry. I I'm trying to lock in though. That's the thing. Is I'm trying to lock in. I'm trying to make sure that I'm giving it, a fair shake. And also, what do you think of my gym bow? I have a little bow in my hair. Super cute, super trendy. In a gym full of 50-year-olds. So anyway, I'm getting off track. Bootaloo, the book. So, I'm kind of bored. All the weird fairy names I'm sort of lost on, like Morid, Brambly. But also, to be fair, I was reading it right before I filmed my cupcake YouTube short. I don't know if you saw it, but sort of a interesting, very very weird afternoon I had. Sort of felt like a vacation. I went to a cute little cafe and I had like 2 giant things of green tea and also like 2 cupcakes to go with the tea, of course. And yeah, I met up with some friends, did some reading, tried to be an influencer, ate cupcake liner. A lot of stuff happened. So, whew, and here we are. 130 pages in, and I am so bored. I'm so bored. I'm so bored, but I'm gonna lock in. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to do this because This is a reading vlog. It's my first one, and I need to make it quality. So here we are. What I am enjoying about it is the atmosphere. I can very much sense that the author put thought into like the writing style, every word choice. It didn't feel like a rushed book, that was put out because of certain TikTok popularity micro trends. I could very much tell that that was not the case. However, I'm not sure if this particular brand of light fantasy is for me, but there have been books where I didn't really get into them until about halfway through. So I'm almost halfway through. So I suppose we'll have to see what I think halfway through. I plan on reading more either tonight or tomorrow. So maybe I'm just not a book talk person. Like maybe I'm just not someone who likes light fantasy and I so badly want to be included. Like that's the thing, is that a lot of times I so badly want to be a part of a fandom or community and I'm like, I really need to like this. And then when I don't, I'm so sad because I don't get to be part of the fun. So I really want to be part of the fun, guys. So I'm gonna try to lock in and enjoy this. I'm gonna make myself have fun. Okay, you're gonna have fun and you're gonna like it. That's my attitude. That's my mantra right now.
Morning. Say good morning. Morning.
So, realized I haven't found a specific section that talks about the sort of more wordy prose that I was referencing earlier. It's like it's hard to define it, but it sort of sucks me out of the world a little bit. And okay, like here on page 125 it says, our feet remained dry courtesy of the furred Joslander boots we had purchased prior to departure, but the going was awkward over such cumbersome terrain. Like, it's not a bad line. I don't know why it irks me so much, but it just sort of feels like one of those things where if I wrote it in high school, it would say my writing teacher would have said like too wordy, be concise, less is more. Like I'm reading it and I'm like, it's just hard to get into the world because I'm so focused on digesting the words. And I'm not trying to end up like that one girl on TikTok that got made fun of for being like, it's too wordy. I'm just saying, like, I'm not used to this writing style, so I'm having a bit of a hard time enjoying it as much, is what I'm saying. And just sort of things like that that make it a bit hard to be super involved in the world. Like sentences like this is like, I handed him his coat, he drew this around his body and huddled in the corner, shuddering as slowly he gained weight and substance again. That's a fine sentence. I get that. But it just sort of feels a bit too bulky, like maybe the thesaurus was used too much. But I don't want it to seem like I hate the book, because I really don't. I am enjoying it. It's just a bit difficult to be as engrossed in it as I was in, say, Better Than the Movies. Which, let me know if I should do a Lynn Painter reading vlog. Like this video if you want me to do a Lynn Painter reading vlog, because I still have several of her books left to read, so let me know. Or sentences like, He'd reacted with a horror befitting a confession of murder and immediately swept me from my office to his favorite cafe on the university grounds, which was nearly hidden by a conclave of oak trees. Like, conclave? Conclave. Like, I've never used that word naturally in a sentence other than regarding a parabolic graph in calculus. Like, that's the only way that I would have used it, and I want to understand and I want to have fun, but it's so difficult. And some of it is good, but some of it feels like one writer and then an entirely different writer, which I feel very stupid if there were two writers, but there aren't. There's only one. I checked. Or like the effect of his simple ministrations. What is a ministration? I'm so confused. And I know that there are going to be some commenters that are like, well, this is such a highbrow book, and it's a literary book, and it's so much fun to learn the words. I'm mostly reading at midnight, okay? I'm mostly reading at midnight. Midnight me is not capable of parceling out these complicated synonyms, okay? I'm just not. 4 p.m. me probably is, but midnight me is not. And that's not the author's fault. That's probably my fault for reading at midnight. But I'm still gonna say so. Because it's my YouTube channel. So. I can't find other examples, but like, some sentences are perfectly fine. Like, I lifted the covers intending to go to Wendell immediately and admit my foolishness. Perfect, great. Midnight me would understand that. But conclave? Ministrations? What? What does that mean? Right. So, hold up. Sorry for the weird lighting. I finished the book last night. Finally. It only took me, I think, an hour to read the last 150 pages, so feeling pretty confident about that. Feeling pretty good. I really got into the last, like, 150 pages, like the arranged marriage break-in. That was not what I originally signed up for, and I really liked it. I didn't love, hold on, let me sort this out. That's still weird. Hold on. Nope, that's worse. There we go. So yeah, finished the book last night, and I have to say, really got into the last, like, 150 pages. Was not expecting to be as invested as I was. And now I'm going to do also my final review for the book. So this is the final review part. Great. Okay. My final review for Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Faeries. I didn't love the beginning. I was sort of lost on some of the word usage. If you saw my earlier clips and didn't skip to the end like a heathen, I found some of the sentences a bit wordy. Some of the writing felt like it was trying to be a bit superfluous, and it's not to say that I didn't like the book. I was extremely invested in the last third, I would say. That's when it really started to pick up for me, and maybe everyone else was just invested from the beginning. I don't know. But I really enjoyed hearing about the marriage and how she broke out and how, the changeling and like the scene with the doll and the fire. That was all really interesting, and I was hooked. Like, I could picture it happening and everything. I just wish that the beginning had more intrigue. It felt more, and obviously it's the Encyclopedia of Faeries, so I expected it to be like academic based, but it almost didn't have enough plot, I want to say. And I don't want that to sound like I just Because I know that there are going to be people who like, you missed the whole story, you missed the entire storyline, there was stuff happening and you never even knew. Yeah, probably. But I don't know, I'm attracted to a certain kind of writing, and maybe this just wasn't it for me. But I would say 3 stars. Okay? I understood what the writer was trying to do, and I felt it at certain points, especially the last third. But some of the time I was floundering a little bit, and some of the time it felt like Heather Fawcett could have been more concise, been less wordy, made things a bit more accessible. And that's just my personal opinion. So, thank you so much for watching. If you've made it through to the end, yay, congratulations. And you can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Obviously subscribe if you haven't already. What are you doing with your life? Not to be judgmental, but to be a little bit judgmental. And also follow me on Tumblr. I have Tumblr now. So I'm going to be kicking that up quite soon. And I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Goodreads, every social media app basically. Just find me. Not in person. Don't find me in person. Don't stalk me, but like on the apps. Do that. And I will be releasing a video next week, so make sure to stay updated for that. And thank you so much for watching. I had so much fun doing my first ever reading vlog. Bye!